Okay, goodness, I couldn't figure this out. Good morning, good morning. All right, let me do what I gotta do. Hey y'all, Lisa Davis here, the trusted banker, and this is my first time going live on YouTube in a long time. I am going to get started in a few. I wonder, can I play music on here, or can you play music, or no? Cause I got my I don't know. Can we play music on here? I don't want to have no problems. So let me get my TikTok up and going. So that's why I don't like going live on
Viewers from
YouTube.
Xiaohongshu, they're already starting to distinguish content being pushed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's go. And let's talk about this. Hey y'all, I'm going live on YouTube. And so I figured I might as well go live on TikTok. So I'm gonna talk about the FDIC, the Trump administration that's coming in to dismantle the FDIC uh, regulatory agency, because I got a lot of questions on that video, and y'all know I'm all about helping folks understand different things in the economy. As a former banker and regulatory compliance person, I talk about that kind of stuff. So I had a lot of questions about Trump dismantling the FDIC and what people can do and how it's going to affect them, their money. And just all the comments I got made me think, okay, maybe we need to talk about this and maybe we need to answer some of these questions. So, first of all, the FDIC is a regulatory agency that monitors and manages the banking industry, making sure that they comply to different regulations, but also has insurance that protects people's money so that if anything goes wrong in the bank, good morning, Lily, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Anything that goes wrong in the bank, as far as if the bank happens to shut down or anything like that, consumers' money is protected up to $250,000. I think that's the main point that a lot of people are worried about. If Trump gets rid of the FDIC, what will happen to their money and will their money be safe? And the answer is Congress has to agree to pass a law to dismantle the agency, and understanding that the FDIC was created because of the Great Depression, and to protect monies from a long time ago, that we don't want to see anything like that happen again. It would have to be, I don't think that our Congress will be a Congress that will say, you know what, let's dismantle the FDIC. But we do have a lot of other things going on in this country, as far as like fascism and all of the things, and the oligarchy, that they alleged oligarchy that is being formed with all of the billionaires coming into power play, and Trump being the new incumbent president, with the people that are behind him that are seeming to run everything, with the control of the media. So I think that, is it a possibility? Yes, it's a possibility, and it could happen. People ask me, so I had a ton of questions, and I'm trying to pull them up. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this on YouTube. Um, oh, excuse me. I'm gonna try to pull these questions up if my mouse will work. Okay, mouse, what's going on? Let's get rid of that. Let's come over here. Present. PDFs. Okay, so this was a question. So all these questions came off. He could cause a run on the banks. He could, well, okay. So there's a couple of different things. So causing a run on the banks means that getting, what would happen that could cause a run on the banks is if everybody pulled their money out of the banks, and therefore the banks didn't have any liquidity in order to honor the debt that they were holding. That could definitely cause a run on the banks. And but see, the thing is, the reason I think it's something that they won't do is because it would not only cause a run on the banks for community banks and small banks, regional banks and national banks, but also the big banks. The only thought that I would have is if that people, because people with millions and millions and millions of dollars with investments and hedge funds and things like that, they don't necessarily rely on the FDIC $250,000 insurance, because when you got millions and billions, that doesn't really cover your money. And like somebody was saying in one of my comments, those monies are invested and protected in other types of vehicles to help them protect their wealth. So the question would be, it would harm the little people. Again, it's the big billionaires that are making these decisions that will harm the little people. Because if anything does happen to folks' money, the bank really does a good job of protecting the money, as far as like when people have been hacked, when people have been frauded, when people have had people attack their accounts and drain their accounts, they get their money back. When banks shut down and deposits are in banks that go out of business, like Silicon Valley Bank, like someone mentioned in my comments, the FDIC and those insurances and the relationships and the policies they have in place to ensure people's money does not get drained when those type of things happen, protects the little people, the 100,000aires and the 1 millionaires instead of the multimillionaires, right? So it could definitely cause a run on banks, but more importantly, it could cause people, basically middle class and lower, to lose their money if anything happens. If it causes a run on the bank and then the FDIC is not there and nobody's insuring their money, definitely could cause people to lose their wealth that they have. Just the fact that there's a possibility of the FDIC being terminated is extremely frightening. It is frightening. It is very frightening. It's something that nobody was thinking about. It's something that I wasn't thinking about. And so it's very frightening. But so don't let the fear make you not be prepared, right? So you need to be prepared. And I like to talk to people basically from my standpoint, because you have to be prepared. Put monies in the house. Like somebody was saying, we got to go back to the old way when we were doing mattress money and all those things. I hate to say yes, but I can't say no. As a banker, I hate to say yes, but I can't say no, because we hate to see mattress money. We hate to see money coming out of folks' home safe and all those things. But the other side of it is, if anything happens and you don't have any monies at home, you haven't invested in gold or silver or any of the metals, you don't have any kind of currency at the house, and something happens with the banks where you don't have any access to monies that you had in the banks, it could be a problem. So I would say it is time to go back to the old ways and start keeping money at home. Let me turn my light on over here. Keeping some monies at home. They always say you should have 90 days worth of money. Like you need like 20 grand at home or more. You need to have some monies at home to make sure that you're protected in case something does go wrong. Have some cash in the house, because things are going to be happening. And when those kind of things happen, they happen at a fast pace. And with somebody like the new administration that's come into office and the way they managed it before, they have all these thoughts and they have all these ideas, but they have no plans. They have no way to carry things out. They haven't thought. They're not a proactive thinker. They're more reactive thinker. So they don't think, if I do this, then this could happen. This could happen. Like they don't strategize. They don't sit down with strategists in the room to think through all of the different things that can happen if they make these decisions, and how it could harm this demographic of people and this demographic of people, and not just thinking about themselves and their wealth and what they're trying to do. So is it scary? Yeah, it's scary, but we're going to be all right. Now, how do I go to the next slide? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, slide 2. So this person asked, I can't see it. Does that include retirement accounts? So I'm going through here, and I had the post went viral. So I'm answering a lot of the questions that I had under the post when I made it, to answer some of these questions. So because these to me were good questions. So people were asked. So Tarala asked, does that include retirement accounts? Retirement accounts are something a little bit different, and a lot of times they're held at investment companies, because when you think so is it Social Security retirement or is it pension retirement? Is it your 401k retirement? So there's different places that retirement accounts are held, and most of those would not be held necessarily at a FDIC insured bank. Most pension funds are through like a investment firm, like a Fidelity or a Vanguard or a Charles Schwab. When we talk FDIC, FDIC is for Federal Deposit and Insurance Corporation. So they insure finance. They insure finance banks. They insure banks, financial institutions. So when you come down to your Charles Schwab is a broker, or Fidelity is a broker, or Vanguard is a broker. So those are not necessarily FDIC insured banks. Those are brokerages. And so they guarantee the monies, and I'm not sure how, a little different of a way. And they might have a banking arm, but in fact, pension funds, retirement funds, and all those things are held in brokerage accounts, or Social Security Administration is held in a different type of account. They're in things like that. So that's not necessarily going to affect your retirement account. It would affect your retirement monies that are transferred every month when you receive your pension check or your Social Security check to your bank. Then now it's at the bank, and that's where the FDIC is insuring your funds at that bank. They insure federally chartered banks. So different from retirement accounts, unless you set up some type of savings account at your local financial institution. The next one says, should I start taking all my money out of savings now? Honestly, the way that I teach about financial literacy and how to increase your monies and build generational wealth, we need to not have all of our monies in savings anyways. Your money needs to be diversified. You should have your monies in all type of different financial vehicles, mostly that are going to grow your money. So it should have already been invested. Should you take your money out of savings? You should definitely have some money at home. I'm just going to have to say that I believe I have money. I believe you should have some money at home in case anything happens. You need to have some monies at home so that you can function. Go bury some money in the backyard. I don't know. Invest some money into some minerals, like not minerals, but gold, the silvers, the platinums. Invest it in things like that that's going to carry their value. Should you take all of your money out of savings? Meaning, should you take your money out of the bank? I don't want anybody to start taking all their monies out of the bank. But again, we're talking about 100,000aires, like middle class, lower class. How much money is that really? Now, if everybody went and took all their hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the bank, yeah. But I would say start investing your money. If you've got a savings and it's not invested, you need to invest it. Think about whole life insurance. Think about stocks. Think about funds. Think about bonds. Think about CDs. Think about things that protect your money and grow your money. You have some safe investments. You have some aggressive investments. You can invest again, like I said, in gold and silver and the metals. So everything shouldn't be in savings, and have some cash at home. This is when you really got to start thinking about your hard-earned money that you don't spend all your life earning. How are you going to protect it? How are you going to protect yourself? How are you going to protect your family's future and the generations to come? So everything shouldn't just be in one place. Everything, you need to be able to diversify your monies. So I would say, yes, take it out. Good morning. Maybe I missed it, but why transfer money to credit unions? We didn't get to that one yet. Does not include retirement accounts. I did that one already. So what can we do to protect ourselves in case he does this? If he does this, number one, it's not going to be a quick process. I'm going to keep following this. If TikTok goes down, I'll be on YouTube. This is not going to be a quick turnaround. So we will be preparing ourselves. If we see that he's going to continue to move forward with this and push that plan into action, and Elon Musk continues to, he's the one that I see is behind having these conversations. We'll start building a strategy and start building some steps that we need to take in order to protect ourselves, make sure that we protect our cash, make sure that we know what to do with our monies. We'll be getting some experts to come on. Like, it's not just going to be a me discussion. I can pull in people from other parts of the industry that are having conversations about what should happen. But right now, we're just watching it. In the financial industry, when they try to make changes in any of the regulatory agencies, it takes years. It's not something that happens right away. So maybe I should have started with that. They've been trying to change some of the regulations right now since Trump's last term in office in the bank, in the industry that I work in the financial institutions, right? So changing regulatory compliance and changing regulatory things takes years. It's not just something that you can just do right away. When they make the offer of change that they want to do and it goes to Congress, they still have to have they still have to have time for open comments from the public. They take comments from the public. So that'll be another strategy that we use. So there'll be a lot of things that we will work on if this is something that they try to pursue. We gonna do something, and we're gonna do something that we're gonna pursue and put some strategy in place too. So we will talk about that when the time comes, and see what their moves are. We're gonna watch them and we're gonna make moves accordingly. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's see. The next question I had: who is this for? Who benefits from removing FDIC protections? Trump likes to deregulate everything. Every time he comes into office, deregulating industries, and especially the financial industry, benefits the rich. It benefits the rich, the ultra rich, and it benefits even, I hate to say it, but the investors of the banks, the stockholders, the CEOs. It benefits all those people, because when you deregulate the banks and you take away some of the oversight of the banks, then banks can start doing different types of investments that they normally couldn't do if they had that regulatory oversight. Now, when we hear move the FDIC, when we hear as people, when people hear they're going to get rid of the FDIC and try to dismantle it, all we think about is, oh my God, my money's not insured. When banks hear that, they think, oh, okay, we don't have Big Brother looking over our shoulder now. We don't have to follow all these regulatory compliance guidelines. We're not going to get examined as much. We're not going to get fined as much. We don't have to have all of this transparency as much. We don't have to lend out safe and sound that much. Like, there's a lot of different things that CEOs are thinking about, and that their advisory boards or their investment boards or their stockholders and their shareholders are thinking about. They're not thinking about the insurance. They're thinking about, now we can move money differently. That's what they're thinking about. Now we can get loans differently. Now we don't have to worry about discrimination so much. We can give the money to ourselves so that we can build more wealth, and we don't have to worry about getting dinged for being discriminatory and not approving that loan for that Black person over there, or for that yellow person over there, or for that red person over there. We can make sure that, we can move money the way we want to move money. We can work this money the way we want to work this money, and ain't nobody gonna come over and tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, you did that wrong. Now you got to pay back millions and billions of dollars, right? So they're thinking about it a little bit differently. That's my opinion. That's what, as a regulatory compliance agent, managing different compliance things at the bank, when I see that they're trying to deregulate the bank, it's because they want to move money differently. It's because they don't want to get tapped on the shoulder for not doing things fairly, right? The FDIC manages more than just insuring your money. They make sure banks lend to everybody. They make sure that banks have products that everybody can access. They make sure that everything is done fairly. That they make sure that people's money is safe. They make sure there's a lot of different things that the FDIC does besides just insure the money. So who will benefit from this? The rich, the extremely rich, right? The Elon Musks of the world. So that's who would benefit from that. The Trumps of the world, right? I feel like Trump is getting into office and he looks at everything like it's all his. So the banks are just his big piggy bank. So now he just feels like he can just go in there and do whatever he wants to do. And as president, nobody can stop him, right? So the next comment I saw that was interesting was he's trying to replace the US dollar with cryptocurrency. Hey, TikTok. Hey, y'all. I'm over on YouTube live, and I'm doing it live on TikTok. So hey, y'all. Hey. So this one was interesting to me because if anybody remembers the last time he was in office, he totally had no interest in cryptocurrency. He literally put America on pause. When Trump got into the office the last time and crypto was moving good and strong, he basically came into office and said, crypto is make-believe, don't invest in it. You can't invest in something that's not real. Trump he threw the whole thing away. And so it's so interesting to me that now this time he's coming into office after Biden had already created a department of digital currency. So now he's coming into office with his cronies and the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. I call it Dogecoin. So, now he's all into crypto. So do we think that he's trying to do this because he wants to replace the US dollar with crypto? I don't think Trump thinks that. But do I think Elon thinks that? I think Elon thinks that. I think Elon knows that this will take his Dogecoin to the highest of heights. It'll make a lot of people rich. So it'll make a lot of people rich. But I think Elon totally believes in crypto. I believe in crypto. Crypto to me is the future of currency. There's no way we can think that this world will continue to go with all of this technology, and crypto is not the currency of the world. So I do believe in cryptocurrency. I'm invested in cryptocurrency. I don't do a lot of talking about cryptocurrency on my page, but I believe cryptocurrency is the currency of the future. And if you look into the history of all currencies as they've come apart, as they've come up through the American currency, as far as like banknotes, then dollars, the dollar bills, and then coins, and then credit cards. I've done a whole like conversation around how currency has always changed as technology has changed and generations has changed. And it takes normally 20 to 30 years for it to catch on. So I think we're in the 20-something year of cryptocurrency. And I do believe cryptocurrency will be the currency of the future because it's a global currency. So I believe Elon Musk is behind all that. I don't believe Trump has the foresight to think about all that, but he does have the people around him that are thinking about it. So is he trying to replace the US dollar? I don't think so. I think the US dollar has found some more value, so it's still valuable. But I do believe cryptocurrency is the currency of the future. Do I think Elon Musk is trying to replace the US dollar? Yep, I do. I do. I think Elon Musk would be somebody like that. Yeah. So Elon Musk is all about futuristic everything. Well, our ancestors kept their money in the mattress. We can do it again. They use your money and don't want you to withdraw it. 100%. You need to have some money at home. I swear, as a banker, I don't like to say that because as a banker, that was one of the biggest problems that I had when I was doing loans for my people. When I say they would come in with briefcase and duffel bags and paper bags full of cash, and it's like, we can't take cash like that. And it sounds crazy to say, but mattress money is such a thing, right? But if we start to see that when they get into the administration and they start pursuing the dismantling of the FDIC, and they've also thrown the Federal Reserve up there now too. I forgot to mention that, but the Federal Reserve is up there now. They're looking at that entity as well, and the work that they do. And if they don't dismantle these things, they do figure out ways to weaken it. So I do see that they're going to be weakening different agencies as well. But if we start to see that they're working on that, and I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that, I will be talking about it weekly. And we'll be putting, again, we'll be coming together and putting together some types of strategies, some steps people can take. Because what I don't want people to feel is fear. When you feel fear with no action, you make bad moves, right? This ain't about that. This is not going to be the time to make bad moves. We're going to do the best we can as being the people we are. I mean, full transparency. I'm going to be asking experts that I know. Like I said, I'll have experts come on that want to come on. Because I am not a banker anymore and I'm a former banker, I have a lot more freedom to speak freely online where I don't have to worry about anybody suing me, any compliance coming after me, legal, the banks or whatever. So if I can't get the experts to come on, that doesn't mean I'm not speaking with them. It just means that when you are a banker and you're in the bank and you're holding those high level positions, it's not always easy to go public and talk about things that you may believe or think about as a banker when all your bread and butter comes from working in the bank, right? So I work for myself, so I don't have to worry about that now. There is freedom in working for yourself. But as a banker, I was bound, you're bound by all these things where you can't really talk about things if you want to keep your job, right? So not working in the bank anymore, I have a lot more freedom than I had. And I worked at the bank for 20 years. 20 years, from 98 to 2023. That's more than 20 years. But so you know what I'm saying? So I've been in the bank a long time. So yeah. So like I said, if we see that they're moving that way, we will start talking about it, and I'll be on YouTube if TikTok is gone. So that's where that'll be. Because I don't want people to be moving in fear. Because when you move in fear, you just make bad decisions. We got to think clearly about this. So the next one was, this is all about crypto. Elon wants a new system. This has been in play for some time. They want the current system to fail now or fall. So, I mean, I can believe that. I can believe that. And sometimes I think the current system needs to fall because it's not as stable as we think it is. I like to call it a very dysfunctional functional system. That's my opinion. I believe our financial system is dysfunctional and functional at the same time. I feel like the way that it works is just we they just it's just, money's not even backed by anything anymore, and the value in our currency is still right there above a lot of different countries. That tells you a lot right there, right? So, see, I still get held up by those legal things, thinking about things, but I think a lot of our systems in this country need to be broken and rebuilt, including the political system. So I'm gonna just leave that right there. But again, we're gonna keep watching it. But I wanted to come on here and answer some of the questions that I got because I had like thousands and thousands of questions. And the reason I do what I do is because I don't like people to live in fear around money. And when these things happen around money and around credit and around identity theft and fraud, people just make weird moves and they spend too much money on things that don't even bring them any value or bring them any protections like they think it brings them. And so I like to be a voice somewhere out here to let you know that I'm not that you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're going to move through this, but we're going to think it through as we move through it, put some strategies in place, and make sure that we're not functioning out of fear, because that's just something that when it comes to money, you can't be overly emotional and scared when you moving money. Scared money don't make none. I don't know if y'all never heard that in y'all family, but you got it. We got to. My page is all about making money, and so scared money don't make none. So we can't have people running around in fear, worried about what's going on. When usually we can think through it and put strategies into place. So today was all about coming on here and answering the questions that I got on that post. So question: if the bank holding my car note crashes, do I still have to pay it off? So that was so funny to me. So this question about the bank holding the car note, but if that bank goes out of business, do I have to still pay it off? Yes. Let me explain to you why. I used to work for a bank, and our business model was to absorb failed banks. That's what we did. I worked for a bank that absorbed the FDIC failed banks. And so when the banks were about to fail, our bank would get the call that these banks are going out, which banks do you want or whatever, and our bank would be the bank that would go into certain banks and reorganize. They would give you a call on Friday night, you're going into the failing bank, we shutting it down, we collecting all the paperwork, going through all the compliance pieces, doing integrating them into our system, doing the transfers and all these things. By Monday morning, it opens up as another bank that's named. So I say all that to say, even though your bank fails, they fail on a Friday, they reopen on a Monday in a different name. We send out notifications to all debt holders, mortgage holders, credit card holders, signature line holders, car note holders. Your debt transfers to the new bank that absorbs that bank. So just because the bank that you originated that loan with fails, you have in your agreements a servicing transfer contract. That service and transfer means that your servicing of that loan can be transferred to any financial institution or servicer that wants to take it over. So that means that you still have to pay your car note. Long story short, that's what that means. Because how did 391 people like that comment? Yes, if a bank fails that you owe debt to, you still have to pay that debt. Debt goes towards your credit. Okay, a failed bank is where your money is, and that's protected by the FDIC. Two different things. When you sign a legal contract to pay a car note, you legally owe that car note. The legality of that contract with the car note affects your credit. Okay, if you want to have good credit, you're gonna pay your debt. That's what that is. Speaking of bonds, is the U.S. government really going to have the means to pay them out? Speaking of bonds, is the U.S. To pay who out though? Speaking of bonds, is the U.S. government going to really have the means to pay them out? I got to think about that question because I don't know what you mean by pay who out, because there's all types of different bonds. So which bonds are you talking about? Tell me which bonds you're talking about, Lily Shade. Hey, good morning, Quality Child Care. Good morning. Maybe I missed it, but why transfer money to credit unions? So you can transfer your money to the credit unions, and that's what this person asked. Slytherin Prefect. This person says, wait, wouldn't that mean they could take our money? Wait, what does it say? Wait, wouldn't that mean they could take our money to bail the bank in? Ooh, I hope not. Oh, okay. That wasn't about credit unions. So, well, if they have your money, they wouldn't. So first of all, they don't take our money to bail out banks. I think that's the question this person is trying to ask. We always see that they bail the banks out. So let me tell you who bails the banks out. This last one, when Silicon Valley failed, the banks that bailed them out was Chase and the FDIC. The FDIC didn't have, I think, enough, because I think 3 banks failed the year that bank failed. So if you look back and go read the articles, the FDIC insured all the money of the people that had deposits on deck at Silicon Valley. And when a failed bank fails, it gets bought by another bank. I think Chase bought a lot of their debt, or Chase bought some interest into that bank. I feel like another bank bought into them too. But so that means that they don't take consumers' money to bail out a bank. The FDIC used money to bail out a bank, and then the big banks step in. And when I say the big banks, the Senate always has a financial hearing on the economy. The banks that they invite in are the big banks, which is Wells Fargo, Chase, Citi, Bank of America, and U.S. Bank. Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citi, and U.S. Bank. Those are the big banks. Those are the big banks. And those banks are very instrumental in making sure the economy doesn't fail. They're instrumental in buying out bad debt or buying out failing banks or whatever when the FDIC does things, and insuring things and things. So they never take consumer money out of deposits and bail out banks. Right. So, I mean, if you think about this country and how our money is, it's not valued by gold or silver anymore. The monies are just dollars that they print. Like, we're seriously. So think about that. Right. When they're sending all these millions and billions, so think about that. Because when I hear people say our country sent 60 billion to Ukraine, but we still have a homelessness problem, whether they sent that money to Ukraine or not, you still was going to have a homelessness problem. Right. Because that money didn't come out. They ain't fixed it yet. So when people think that because this country sends money somewhere else, it's taking money out your mouth, it's not. Our money has no money, it has no value to it. That's why they call it fiat. It's fiat currency. It's just printed. It's just printed. It doesn't have the backing of gold and silver like it did when it was banknotes were originally created because they used to pay by gold, by silver, by metals, by platinum. And when debt started to become larger and those metals were too heavy to carry around, they created a banknote that backed the gold and silver. So, because you can't just carry that stuff around, it gets real heavy. And as costs started to go, you understand what I'm saying? So the banknote was evaluated based on the amount of gold that was backing it or silver. The currency had that value to it. That went away when they took that in the 70s. I think they stopped backing the banknote or the dollar bill or the $20 bill or the $100 bill. They stopped backing it by gold or silver. So it's fiat currency, FIAT, fiat currency. So it's not really, we just be printing. That's how I feel about it. We might have to go back to putting our money in mattresses, freezer, and flour bags like our great grandparents. Absolutely. I think so. But again, let's watch and see what happens. I do think that we need to have money at home. You need to have some cash at home. That's why all these savings challenges are good. When you save up that $5,000 in these savings challenge books, when you save that $5,000, keep it at home. Keep that book. Get you a book and keep the money at home. Right? So if you don't know how else to save like that. And when you fill one book up, get another book and fill that book up. And that way, when you fill one up, you got $5,000. You fill another one up, now you got $10,000. Like, do it like that. Some people don't understand how to save. These books back here are a great way to save money, and it saves cash money so that you'll have that cash money at home. So yeah, we're gonna have to go back to having some money at home. So if you don't know how to save or hold yourself accountable or be disciplined, get you a savings challenge book and put the money up every day. Like there's nothing No, there's nothing in the book. These are the savings challenge books with the envelopes where you do $1 for day one, $2 for day two, $3 for day three. Like it's like that. And so they help you to save. Because some people literally just have never had the had have never saved, so they don't know how to save. And so this helps you to be disciplined so that you're not spending money you don't need to spend. You say, well, instead of going out to dinner, today is day 68. So instead of going out to dinner, I'm gonna put my $68 in here and I'm gonna save my money. Because you need to save money. At this point, we do need to have some cash at home. So yeah. And I'm off for people on TikTok. Hey y'all, also on YouTube because we don't know what's gonna happen with TikTok. So I'm on YouTube Live right now. So does the credit card debt go with the bank as it fails? This no. If you have a debt with the bank again, any bank that fails, your debt has nothing to do with the failure of the bank because again, every time you sign a contract, you're signing a contract that you're going to pay any debt back that you use. So sorry if this is a dumb question. Hold on one second. Who is any moderator on TikTok? No. Let me try to pin that. Okay, I'm gonna pin that question because I believe there are no dumb questions. I'll get to you in 1 second. Does the credit card go with the bank debt? If a bank fails, you still owe the debt. You sign a servicing agreement. They will transfer the servicing of your credit card debt to another institution that will call you after the bank fails and say, hey, we got your credit card debt. You still owe us this money because you signed a contract for that credit card. And so that means that affects your credit. So if you use the credit card, you got to pay it back. So this person on TikTok says, sorry if this is a dumb question, but how do you do those savings challenge if you don't carry, if you don't carry chat, if you don't carry cash? You got to go to the bank. That was the hardest part for me doing to say I had to go to the bank. So what I did, because this is a 100-day savings challenge. So what I did is when I got to month 2, right? So actually what I did is I did it every 20 days. So 20 days I did like it's the money for the day, right? So I added up in my head how much money I needed to take out for like the 20s. So the 20s was for me 21 through 30. So that's $20, $21, $22, $23. So I added all that up and I said, that's how much money I got to take out this week out the bank. And so for that week, for those numbers, I just took that money out. So like the 20s, it would be 20 plus 21 plus 22 plus 23 plus 24 plus 26 plus 27 plus 28 plus 29 plus 30. So from 20 to 30, I would take $275 out the bank. Right? So it gets hard when you get to the 60s. So I had to take out, because I was taking out $2,000. It was like 60 plus 61 plus 62 plus 63 plus 64 plus 65 plus 66 plus 8 plus 69 plus 70. So when you get to the 60s, you need $715 for those 10 days. I did mine in 10-day increments because all my money is in the bank too. But I took my money out the bank so that I could finish my savings challenge book so that I had that money sitting to the side, and then I would fill up my book. So every 10 days, I would go and take the monies I needed out the bank. And what that does, again, is it disciplines you because you can't spend that money on something else. It stops you from shopping. If you don't have enough cash to do all the things, you start prioritizing savings, which prioritizes your mental health, because finance and mental health go hand in hand. So when things start going crazy, like they about to go after the 20th, this will help you feel a lot more safe and secure versus having that good restaurant meal or taking that really fun trip or getting that really new bag and a nice bag or pair of shoes. Having some money at home helps you feel a lot more safe and secure. I'm just saying it does. Okay, so what's the next one? So that wasn't a dumb question. That was a good question. Is saving through Acorn a good idea? Y'all asking some good questions. Now, why y'all be on here big time when I'm on YouTube? When I be on here by myself, y'all don't be talking to me so much. But I like that question because I canceled Acorn. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm gonna answer a couple of TikTok questions. But I can't. Let me tell you why. Because I'm a little stubborn. But I had been on Acorn for a long time. I had thousands and thousands. I had did very well on Acorn because I was just putting everything into Acorn. I had put it in some of their good mutual funds and some good investments and things. And when they started charging $3.99, I just got mad. I canceled my account because I was like, I already, as a banker, I already know y'all making money on the digital transfer. Y'all making money on holding it. Y'all making money with the agreement y'all got with the investment firms. Like y'all making money everywhere. And I get it. Everybody needs to make money. But when they started charging me a monthly fee, I canceled it. And honestly, I like Acorn. But again, the other side of it, as somebody that knows that these industries are not going to be so safe anymore, Acorn to me has really created a very strong entity. The foundation started off strong. They have been very reliable. I've been watching their filings. They do things very well, but they're a fintech company. And again, I tell you, don't hold your money in fintech too much. But they also put it in investment firms that I recognize. So I like Acorn. I just got mad at them when they started charging me. So that's the honest truth. So I like Acorn. Acorn is good. If you don't know how to save, I like the roundup feature and invest in all that monies into investment funds or investments. And then I used to put extra money, like I would make it a job, not a job, but I would make it a habit to, like, at the start of the year, throw $100 in there at the start. Maybe every month I say I'll put an extra 20. I did all my roundups. Like I did good on Acorn. So I really do like it. Now I missed it now that you brought it up. I might go back to it. I don't know. But I have crypto and I have Charles Schwab. So, and I have me. So, should we start moving our money overseas? I researched this because, again, as a bank, okay, so somebody asked, should we move our money overseas? Okay, so somebody said I'm jumping in late. What's wrong with fintech companies? See, now the ADD kicking in. ADD. Nothing's wrong with fintech companies except it's a new industry and your money is not insured. It is not protected, and so you should not have money sitting in fintech companies. Like, you should not have your money sitting in a Cash App. You should not have money sitting in there. Cash App is cool to transfer. I use all of the fintech companies for the reasons that they're there, but I don't hold money on their cards, and I don't use their cards. I don't use Cash App cards, PayPal card, all those cards, and I don't hold and store money on those apps, right? People have lost thousands and thousands of dollars on PayPal and Cash App when the money just disappears. A fintech company is not a bank. So if the money disappears for whatever reason, it's lost. It's not insured. It's not guaranteed. And we just had a big company go out that was fintech last year that put people lost, what, $18 million or $80 million of all the people that had monies that was in the processes of transferring, and they were whatever it was doing. But fintech companies, it's a new industry, sort of like crypto. Fintech been around maybe 10 good years, maybe 15. It's not a very good, it's a very infant company, and it's not a bank. It doesn't insure your money. It doesn't protect your money. It just moves money. It makes money accessible to be moving. So don't store money on your fintech. That's what I'm saying. Should we start moving our money overseas? As somebody that has traveled and lived overseas, it's not as easy as you think to open an account in another country. They have a lot of criteria when it comes to opening an account in other countries. So the fact that you're asking me this question says you might not have enough money to open up an account overseas. But if you do, if you want to, sure. There is nothing stopping you from opening up accounts in other countries, nothing at all. If you feel like that's something you want to do, do it. We also in America have a lot of other banks that are the backing of some of the American banks, so that if you put your money in those banks, like BMO, I think BMO, is that the one? Our CIBC was the private bank. CIBC is a Canadian bank. We have the Royal Bank of Scotland here. We have other countries' banks here too. So, sure, move your money overseas. It's a lot. They have a lot of criteria in their banking industries in other countries. So yeah, if you want to move your money, go ahead. As long as you can access it when you need it, sure. What about Venmo? Venmo is you don't hold money on Venmo. It's there to transfer money. It's also fintech. Just because the banks use it, they use it because It is, the question from TikTok was, what about Venmo? Should we use Venmo and store money on Venmo? You can, when I say store money, I mean as a I have found that people, when they receive money on these things, instead of transferring it to their bank, they let it sit in those apps. And that's what I mean you should not do. If you receive money through Venmo, move it to your bank. If you receive money through PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, well, Zelle directly deposits. I don't use Venmo, but I think they directly deposit. If you receive money through anything, put it into your bank or put it in your pocket, but don't leave it on the app. People leave money on Stash. People leave money on Chime. Chime is not a bank. It is a fintech company. Get it out of those cards. That's what I mean. Don't carry around a Cash App card that has cash on it. That is not protected because your Cash App card is not a bank. Even though they have an affiliation with an FDIC insured bank, they are not a bank. Get your money off of that card. That's what I mean. The check cash in place is looking good right to my safe. So I brought this one up because we got to get away from these check cash in places because they charge too much money. And I'm all about not paying any fee I don't got to pay. I'm all about building generational wealth. And when you become very, very sensitive to all the fees you pay, you stop paying as many fees as you can. Don't pay no late fees. Don't pay any over finance charges. Don't pay any check cashing fees. Like when you add all these fees up, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year. And I know it sounds crazy and it's like, well, it's only $2 a day. But that's your money that you worked hard for that you're just giving away because you're being lazy about either establishing yourself at a bank, establishing your credit, or making sure you got direct deposit, right? So no, check cashing doesn't make any sense to me. They charge too much money. They're like the little corner loan sharks, and they're really for people that haven't gotten their self established. Fix your credit, figure out a way to get a bank account, make sure your money can get direct deposit, and let's stop using check cash in places because they're really eating you up. And they're not in the rich neighborhoods, they're in the poor neighborhoods because rich people ain't going to no check cash in place. Think about that when you think about using them. They just there to take your money. They there to take your money. Stop being lazy about your money and get yourself together. Now I just put this up here because I was like, oh, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So I thought that was nice. So do you have any resources catered to learning about crypto? No, I just actually took all of my crypto classes offline. So I don't really, you know, I do crypto. I understand crypto very well. There are a lot of resources online, on YouTube, um, on TikTok. There are a lot of people that talk about crypto. What I would say is be, crypto is just like investing in stocks and bonds. You need to read about everything you put your money in and understand why you believe it's going to make your money make money. You can't just take somebody's word for it and say, oh, they invested in what is it? Shibu Army or whatever they are. They made money on it. They told me they made $1 million. So I'm gonna go. No, you need to understand what Shibu is versus crypto versus Ethereum versus Ripple versus Stellar versus all of those, right? I have my favorites that I've been rocking with since 2012. I believe in them. I see all these things come and go and they tempt me. I have FOMO a lot. I have fear of missing out a lot. I stick with my basics because they have been there since the test of time. And I am on Coinbase. If you really want to learn about crypto, open an account on Coinbase. Coinbase has a lot of tutelage and they pay you to learn. So Coinbase has these little classes that you take. And if you complete the classes, they'll give you a free token. They'll give you three free tokens of this, 2 free tokens of that, a piece of this. But they teach you what those cryptos are all about because you've got cryptocurrency, you've got tokens, it's all up under cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin and Litecoin, there's certain currencies, then there's certain other things that have different utilities. So I would say you got to be your best decision maker about the crypto you choose to buy, but you need to learn about it. Every crypto has a white paper. I have read several white papers. I think because I was a compliance agent at the bank, I'm used to reading and studying. You got to read and study the crypto. You can't just go buy algorithms. Algorand, what is the one? Cardano, or I like Matic, I like Cardano, I like Algo. I'll go. Yeah. Go read the white papers and figure out their utilities and how they work. The community is built, how you can be involved, because every human being can be involved in the cryptocurrency one that they like. They can be involved in the governance of it, the mining of it, the staking of it, the processing of it, all those things. So I would say learn about it. I had a friend start an account for me, but I don't understand it. You got to read about it. Yeah, you got to read about it. You got to read about it. That's the banker in me. I just can't tell you what to do. I want you to learn what to do, because I believe in teaching a person how to fish versus just giving them a fish. You understand what I'm saying? If I tell you what to do, you're just going to do it because I said it. And then if it goes good, you're happy. If it goes bad, I'm wrong. You need to learn it for yourself. Plus, you'll feel better about it if you learn it yourself, right? And we can talk about different cryptos, but I'm not that person that's going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you, hey, think about this, go learn about that, and we're going to talk about things. And if you got questions, put them in my comment section. Basically on YouTube, I'm going to need you, if TikTok goes away, I'll see more of your questions on YouTube. And those are the things that I'm going to base my YouTubes on versus, and also following the different agencies on, what's going on in the economy. But if you have questions, the reason I did this is because you guys started emailing me at work. I was like, okay, I'm going to answer the questions, because I started getting emails at my job. Well, I work for myself, but when I started seeing people emailing me about the FDIC and things from my TikTok, I said, well, let me get online and start talking about this stuff a little bit more. I'm here. I'm going to always be here, and I'm always going to answer your questions. I just didn't know that was going to, I don't like people to be in fear, and I didn't know that conversation was going to put a little bit of fear into everybody. So put your questions in. My YouTube name is The Trusted Banker, the same as everywhere. I'm The Trusted Banker on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Fanbase, and I don't have no name on Red Note. They don't like bankers over there, so that's more lifestyle. I don't do a lot of lifestyle, but I'm on Red Note. But everywhere else, I'm The Trusted Banker. I keep hearing people say get money out the bank, having money in the credit union. Is that the alternative? And that's why we're doing this. So keep your money in the bank for right now. When Trump takes office, we're going to watch how he moves and how he's going to start his process of dismantling the FDIC. Understand, if he starts the process of dismantling the FDIC, it could take a year or 2 or 3 or 4. But if it's successful, he's going to go and dismantle the oversight of credit unions as well. You know what I'm saying? So the protections are what we're concerned about. And so we're going to be watching it. Credit unions are a little bit different because they are member-centric. Members own the credit union. I like credit unions. I have a bank account at banks, and I have a bank account at credit unions. So I always tell people, yes, you should be diversified. Have it at both. Have it at both and some money at home. That's what we have, some money at home, have some money in the credit union, have some money in the bank. Okay, this one says, my credit union is anything to go by. FDIC does insure credit unions too. Best to either try a bank that's too big to fail. Good luck. So credit unions are insured by the NCUA. So the FDIC is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the NCUA is the National some credit union. Since I didn't work in the credit and I can't find my notes, I had written all this stuff up for y'all, and of course, I don't even know where it's at right now. Oh, you know what? That's right. I filed it away. I filed it the right way. So let me go in the right way and look for it. It's over here. I'm sorry. But I forgot what the NCUA is called. But anyways, they're the oversight regulatory agency for credit unions, and they do the same thing. So the thought process is, if they are successful, and it could take years if they get it done. If they are successful in dismantling the FDIC, then they would go for the credit unions next. It would just make good sense, right? So, but again, we're going to be watching this. It's not something that's just going to happen without us watching it. We are going to be watching this. And again, we'll be talking strategy. If this is something that they start doing, then I'm going to show you through the law, there are things we can do. There are laws in place. Not only can because it has to go through Congress, but then that's where we come into play, right? And for real, if this is where people have to start to step up and use their voice and fight back. it's not enough to just be upset and sit at home. Like, look at what happened to TikTok. If they extend this 270 more days, a win is a win. Okay, a win is a win. It doesn't matter if it wasn't permanent. A win is a win, and what that means is too many people that they know they're about to piss off, they're not about to do it. So we're gonna see what happens. But they didn't like that move to red note. That was a great strategy to make a noise that we don't like what y'all doing. So what's the NCUA? I found my notes but I didn't write it out. Come on now. Elon Musk has expressed some sort support for cryptocurrencies like Bit and Dogecoin, primarily as an alternative payment system. Yes. Yeah, that's what I knew. I knew that. I didn't spell it out. But anyways, the credit unions are managed by the NCUA. So, and they're not going to go for big banks first. Big banks, they're not going to go for the big banks first. If we see Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase start to falter, we're going to have a problem. And I think Jamie Dimon is stepping down or just stepped down. I need to look that up. And he's the one that's been over Chase for a long time. So let me see. Jamie Dimon. Did he step down? He's been the chairman and chief executive officer of Chase since 2006. Oh, no, he's not. Where did I get that he was stepping down? Jamie Dimon says 2 significant risks loom over the U.S. economy. I pay attention to Jamie Dimon and the stuff he's talking about. He's always in the news. So his name is spelled Jamie, and his last name is Dimon. He's the CEO of Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase. So I watch what he's doing a lot. When crypto first came out, he was the first one up in DC talking to Congress about Ripple, and trying to get Ripple, or at least create something similar to it, which is something I feel like they were kind of successful in doing. So yeah. What's this next one? Are credit unions safer than banks? I think credit unions are more people-centric. I think members own credit unions. So I think credit unions are managed better because people have a voice at credit unions. If you participate in the calls and you take your membership seriously, yeah. Are they safer than banks? They both have regulatory agencies that guarantee monies up to $250,000. So it's kind of the same. But again, credit unions will do a loan for their members that maybe if that was the same loan you were looking for at a bank, you might not be able to do. So like I said, I have my monies at the bank and I have an account with the credit unions as well. So I think it's not bad to have it to be diversified. That was the last question. All right. I don't know why YouTube makes me so nervous, but this is my first live in years. I'm answering the questions about the dismantling of the FDIC. I've gone through all those questions. I see your questions. You're welcome. Thank you. Good morning. So I will be doing more lives on YouTube. But I think that's all I got for now. So I don't have an outro. So I'm gonna have to be my own outro and just say thank you for joining me. And I appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all again soon. All right. Bye.